All right, call this meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll start with the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting December 10th. Everyone's had a chance to review them. Is there any corrections or changes that need to be made?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the regular board meeting December 10th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to the approval of the general fund vouchers 76,320 through 76,402. Wire transfers 18190,245 through 18190,303. And activity fund vouchers 9399 through 9416, voiding 9416.
I move to approve the general fund vouchers and wire transfers.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the general fund vouchers as read. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Then we'll move on to the public comment section. Anybody have anything they want to bring? Okay. Then we'll move on to our new business, item A, approval of the 2019 summer school dates.
Okay, so in the notes, we're just proposing for the summer school, 2019 summer school dates would be June 11th through June 28th, which is what we've typically done in the past. And then that Monday, June 10th would be the first day would be the teacher in-service day.
I'll move to approve the 2019 summer school dates.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the 2019 summer school dates. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The next item of business is the summer school compensation.
Okay. We're definitely overdue for looking at the summer school compensation. We currently pay $18 an hour with some additional paid prep time built into that. We're proposing that we increase that hourly rate to $21 per hour and still keeping that some of that paid prep time in there. So just looking at being more competitive with some of our surrounding districts, and this reflects very similar to some of the other like the sub rate. We increased 20%. This is approximately 20% increase.
Well, then we have a hard time getting teachers too.
Yeah,
Did we
this
say
year-
that last year?
Last summer, we struggled
Yeah.
to get enough staff to fill up, and we didn't have 5th and 6th grade last year. So we'd really like to, and that was part of the feedback that we got.
And it wasn't all of the feedback, but I think it definitely will help the conversation.
I move to approve the new 18 to 21.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the summer school compensation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The next item of business is the approval of HSED application.
Okay, so we have the application and then the transcripts are in there. We have a senior that recently transferred into the Clear Lake District. You can see that she's at the high school. She's attended since 9th grade, and she came to Clear Lake with 1.75 credits behind the graduation. So our counselor is recommending, and the the admin team supports the recommendation to approve or look at the HSED program at the WITC for her, so that we can get her to graduation at the same time as her peers.
So is that something that she gets to attend during the school day, Josh, or how does?
Yeah, and we recently changed it. I can let Mr. Gillis speak to this, but we recently changed it as well to the kids now. I think this is the first one that we've done where the student will pay for it, and then if they pass it, then the school will reimburse them. So there's a little bit more incentive for them to pass it. Prior to we just paid it, and then we were kind of at the mercy of whether or not they passed and whether or not they would reimburse. So
was it like after hours or something, or?
I'll let you speak to.
So she won't come
She
here
just
at all.
needs certain credits or whatever that we can't offer.
Well, just to get the extra
Generally
too.
with HSED was a student who, on a timeline of a normal school year, won't get up to speed and graduate on time with her class.
Gotcha.
And she's been through several different high schools in the past few years, and she's very credit efficient right now. And this program is a concentrated core area classes, get them on track and get them.
I move to approve the HSED application.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the HSED application. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion passes. Move on to the next item of business, the approval of a staff hire.
Okay, so we have three staff hires. The first one is the custodial position that we had at the high school. That one is Mr. Dave Reindahl was a part-time custodian at the elementary, and that's who we've selected to be the full-time custodian here at the high school. And then the other two are two support staff, paraeducator positions at the elementary school. Ruth Madison selected for the part-time position, and then Diane Morfitt has been selected for the full-time position.
I move to approve the staff hires.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the staff hires. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next on our list of agenda items is the approval of the FMLA leave.
Okay, there's definitely something in the water in Clear Lake because we continue to have FMLA leaves. 2 more maternity leaves requests. Mrs. Paulson and Mrs. Torgerson both having second babies, right?
I move to approve the FMLA leave.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the FMLA leaves. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And the next item of business is the approval of criteria for determining special ed open enrollment.
Okay, so we've not done this since I've been here, so this will be the first year that we are doing this. The approval for criteria for determining special education open enrollment. So my recommendation is that the board approves at the elementary level a full caseload weight factor of 24.6. Middle school full caseload at 24.9, and then a high school at 25.0. So this is not the number of kids, but each special ed student is given a number through DPI depending on what their disability area is, and then how much services are required to how much each student receives for services, and then based off that is the number of open enrollment population, or the caseload that we would have to, if it got over that, then we could deny open enrollment.
So you total the kids up, and then once it reaches, one year could be 13 students at that number, but another year could be 16 if one of the high needs.
Yep, depending on the numbers of the students. So if a kid receives very minimal services, they may get a 1, or if they receive a lot of services and there's more need, they could get like a 3 attached to their name.
So did you determine those numbers based on the current staffing that we have?
Yeah, so this was determined actually for Clear Lake prior to me being here, and it was used in the past. I'm not sure what year. And then since I've been here, we haven't had, our numbers have been pretty good, so I've never brought this to the board for capping our open enrollment, but we felt like there was a need this year.
Okay.
And if it does get approved.
Do we have a lot of special education open enrollment people?
Open enrolled?
Yeah.
We do have a handful, yeah. Our ID, which was formerly CD, or cognitive delayed room, is now intellectually delayed room. They have multiple students, I think specifically from the Amory district.
So what we're going to be doing here is capping the open enrollment students coming in that require
Potentially.
Yep,
potentially.
yep. Just so
If
we
it
don't get
gets to
caught
so
in
many.
a position where we have to
Hire more
We're going to need
staff
1
more.
1/4 people,
Yeah.
kind of a deal.
Yep.
And that's probably a pretty tough little bridge to gap when you go from 1 1/4 people to a full 2. you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little trickier with special ed. 'Cause it's not necessarily the numbers that's such a big thing, but it's just the need. Like if you have one student that is very significant and takes multiple staff with that person, then it's a lot more difficult than having 3 students that don't receive as many services. Or an example, I was talking to a superintendent, a good buddy of mine from where I grew up north of Minocqua area. They had it's a small district like ours. They had a student that was visually impaired. I'm not sure if the student was fully blind and some hearing impairment, and they didn't have any staffing for that, little bugger. So it was very difficult to fill that position. They had to hire, potentially they were going to have to hire two staff to service that one student. And they luckily just happened to be a retired teacher with those, which I don't know what the odds of that are happening, but got really lucky. Both for the district and for that student. It sounds like he's receiving very solid services.
Okay.
I move to approve the new criteria for special ed open enrollment.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the criteria for determining special ed and open enrollment as Mr. Ernst has read off. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion passes. Next item of business is the review of the 2017-18 audit.
So, yep, so there's 2 different ones, one financial statements and then one communication to those charged. So not going to go through these, but just passing them out as a review if you guys want. We have the same in the one that says communication to those charged. We had the same 2 material weaknesses that we've had since I have been here on pages 1 and 2. So nothing new. And as the auditor said, all 3 years, unless we hire someone, it's just something that small rural districts run into.
So has everybody on the board, has everybody been through this part of being on the board a number of times? This guy's your second time. First time doing this? So then we should probably do a little bit of an overview then. And Mr. Ernst, take over whenever you want to.
Sure.
But a little background is we're a public entity, so we have to be audited. So we hire this firm to come in and audit us, and they go through all of our books and make Lori's life really fun and just to make sure that all the pennies are accounted for. And these are the reports that we get every year. Financial statements from the district. And I assume that these are, well, this is the audited version, and then this is the communication that they have with us that tells us about our audit. And the material weaknesses that they bring up, there's always a number of material well, I shouldn't say that. In a small district like ours, there's material weaknesses that come up. And what that material weakness, Lori, could you tell us what the material weaknesses actually are?
The biggest one is that I am the only person that does payroll. That's the big one. The other one is the closing of the fiscal year, which is basically me closing out all the accounts at the end of the fiscal year. So there's no one that does that besides me. Mr. Ernst does look at my things that I print off for payroll and signs off on all my journal entries and stuff like that, but basically it's just me doing it.
Whereas they like to have checks in place to make sure everybody's checking
Right,
on.
someone maybe entering time cards and then processing the payroll, where I enter the time cards, enter everything, enter changes to the profile.
You put in the pay rates, you put in the hours, you
Correct.
process the checks, when typically at least those 3 would be segregated.
Yeah.
So it comes down to,
They want to hurt.
yeah. So we've had weaknesses in the past that we've eliminated in one way or another over the years.
Some of them were Josh signing journal entries. One was him reviewing my profile updates for the employees, what I changed in their profile, whether it be their wage, address, whatever it is. He looks at those now and signs off, so that kind of took care of that one. Can't think of the other, if there was another one. But we've tried to tweak it down as much as we can, but we're never going to get rid of the
All of them.
payroll one unless we hire somebody.
So there has been some point of contention in the past in the history of our school district as far as having weaknesses, and then having the same firm audit us every year. But the board has opted to stay with Baker Tilly, make everyone's life easier.
Well, plus we're no different than any other small school district. They all have the same problem.
Or other,
Or any small business.
like the
Yeah.
village,
Yeah.
village of Clear Lake, or
Right.
We do. I get excited for every year.
any small
But
entity.
changing accountants would not change that weakness, no.
Right. So anyway, this is the report that they gave us. And to summarize, Josh, are we clean? Are we good?
Yep, we just have the two material weaknesses.
Are these published for the public or not?
Once they're published, but we have them in the district office and we
Okay.
leave them in there for anyone.
Someone asks for them. they
Yep.
get 'em.
Similar to the annual
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay.
And I can tell from my experience coming in, having Baker Tilly, they do a phenomenal job. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very well run. They come in, they know all of the employees, they know all of our information. It's really a smooth process from my end. I don't want to speak. I know it's a lot of work for
For-
Lori, and but I think it'd be a lot more work with a new,
Yes.
transition
Yeah.
into a different auditor, different firm.
How long does it take them?
3 days.
Well, for me, it takes me probably 2 weeks to kind of pull everything, but now I'm used, they pretty much ask for the same thing going into it, so I can get stuff together. They always have different questions when they come, but they're usually here Monday, leave, hopefully Wednesdays, and sometimes Thursdays, so they could be here 4 days. With like 3 people with them.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you guys for getting it to come out right and get them to leave again. Be a lot of work. So, we're just reviewing it. We're
Yep.
not.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on the audit? All right. Then we'll move on to review of verification of school board declarations.
Okay, so we just have the two running. We have Nettie Grote and Ryan Munson, the two individuals that filled out their paperwork with the intent to run for school board. So thank you both for choosing to run again.
Yeah.
Best
Very
of
much
luck on
so.
your campaign.
All right. Next item of business then is consideration of February 11th board meeting.
Okay, so I have this on the board to discuss, really up to you guys, but recommendation from the admin team. We had a very competitive boys basketball game in Cameron was that last week, fellas?
Yeah.
Maybe a little more than last week now, but it sounded like it got, there was definitely, during the game, there was some, I think, poor choices by players, which resulted kind of in a heated game. And even after the game, really was more of the issue. Some, I think, words exchanged, and it sounded like both sides. So the reason I bring this up is our next game against Cameron is home here, and it falls on February 11th. So, Mr. Rosina and I called and phone conference the admin team over there just to discuss kind of what our game plan was here, to let them know kind of what we were planning on doing over here. But then I would propose that we move, if we move our board meeting, we don't have to move the day. We can still keep it on February 11th if you guys are available, but we could move it up to
5:30.
5:30. Then we'd be done, and all 3 of us would be able to be present, at the game for that 7 o'clock time. Great. Thoughts?
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think plus a little
I'd like to go to the game
The
anyway.
boys are playing at halftime too, so that'll be good. Some of the
Yes.
boys.
Oh, no
What a
dribbler.
perfect game for them to play at half.
Right.
Let's send the little ones out there.
Well, at least the gym will be full of a lot of Clear Lake people. Have them outnumbered.
You know, and it's very, you know, two very good, two solid teams. You know, both teams have some very talented players on it, and most likely, I should say, hopefully, we'll be seeing them in the postseason as well. So there's potential we'll see them Cameron twice. Both teams are good.
I'm good with that.
And I
Yeah.
think we talked a little bit about doing meetings earlier all the time.
Yep.
So,
Should we take this opportunity and just do that? Would that
You certainly could. I looked
Switch
at the
them to
board. There's nothing in the board policies as far as time, so it's really up to you guys. So you guys could give it a go, and if
We could
you don't like it,
try
you
it
could
a month or two.
certainly shift it back.
Well, let's
does
talk
that
about
help
it.
you guys at all to be able to get
I know
out of
it
here
helps me.
earlier?
That'd probably
Or would
help.
you prefer not to? You'd
Mr.
rather have a
Gillis is
break,
like,
or
yes.
Mr. Gillis is like,
3:30.
I have
yeah.
nothing to say.
He's,
I'll show up when you tell me to show up.
he wants it at
3:30 would be better.
Just from a parent perspective, it's been hard to miss like the band concerts that are only twice
Yeah.
a year. Like if you
Yeah.
miss sporting stuff, you have a lot to make up. But when you miss something like a band thing or something that's random,
They're typically
there's
after that.
Right.
yeah, so
I'd like to go
you're
earlier.
missing a lot of your own kids' things. And I would
Possible.
assume that if you're farther away, it would be nicer to not have to wait 3 hours for a meeting and to put it closer to the end of the day. So that's my perspective. Just as a
Sure.
parent, I would like to not miss so much of my kids' stuff.
Work for you, John?
All right.
And
We're
Lori
missing a
could
game
go home,
tonight.
or does that work okay
Well,
for you?
and now that where you're switching to just one meeting, it might be easier to try to work around some of that stuff to not, on the calendar, to maybe not hit.
But we kind of have to keep it consistent, you know, whether it's a second, and it always seems like the band concerts or the choir concerts are always the second Monday of the month. For,
Maybe that's true, yeah.
for junior high, at least. That's where I'm at now. So 5:30, I mean, that works fine for me. And I know you said coding vouchers could be hard, but I could come right after work. I'm done at 4:30
I could come whenever too.
and just eat supper here.
Well, let's
Look at
just,
those.
let's do it next meeting, and then we'll have a conversation next meeting, and
That's good. So start 5:30, and then I'll put something on the agenda to officially discuss it and have it approved if you guys choose to.
yeah, sounds good. Okay, then the next item of business is the superintendent notes.
Okay. There it is. Okay. All right, so we had end of December last month. We had a lot going on with the Christmas concerts and sporting events. I thought the concerts really, I thought the teachers really did a nice job. The elementary concert was a huge success. Mrs. Corbett, kind of led that with Mr. Wick when we had one, brand new teacher and then one on maternity leave. So, Mrs. Corbett really was, she's kind of technically student teaching and led that and did really a terrific job. I thought she did a nice job, with the assistance of all the elementary teachers. It's definitely a team approach over there when you have, all those little buggers trying to sing and perform. But I thought it was they did a great job. So, what's that?
They did really good.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. And then the concerts here, I thought Mr. Verheyen, with Mr. Wick as well helping out over here. I thought the kids sounded great, and I evenly jokingly said the junior high sounded, remarkable. I think about my own daughter. I don't think she just practiced ever at home, and they just sounded great. They really did a nice job.
could hear
I
it.
probably shouldn't have said that, but it's the truth. But I
the
thought.
same thing. I've never seen that instrument at home ever.
Yeah, but the kids really did a nice job, and I think that really speaks to our staff, and specifically our music and band staff. So, and obviously Mr. Peterson over there and Mr. Gillis over here. So everything went really well. And really those concerts, there's so many people that are involved, from all of our music and band staff to the administration to our custodial staff, that, just everybody getting that prepared. And I think both buildings did a really nice job putting that together, and I was impressed. Our sports teams have been really doing well. We've had the girls have started out pretty strong, and they've had a couple injuries, but still sitting 7-4 right now with for sure one major injury to the team. I think 2 actually, but still doing a really good job. The wrestling team also numbers are down, and they've had some other circumstances in there as well, and they've been doing a really good job and looking really good. They performed really well at the Northern Badger, had 1 3rd place, 1 4th place, and they actually had everyone on the podium with the exception of 1. Overall, as a team in the small schools, I think they were in the top 5. I believe so, and I think they
15th overall.
Yeah, I think they only wrestled 7 or 8
wrestlers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the tournament. So really did a nice job. The boys basketball team have yet to be, I shouldn't say it that way, they're undefeated. Yeah, knock on wood, don't jinx anyone. But they're 10-0 right now, and they look really good. So again, similar to last year, all 3 of our winter sports teams, really fun to go and watch. And I think more importantly, our kids do a really nice job just representing our district wherever they go. So fun to watch, fun to be a part of as an administrator. Things coming up in the district, we have, I should back up, last week we also had Spirit Week, so a huge thank you, led by Mr. Crawford, putting on a ton of events, and the staff as well. It really changes your day-to-day instruction, having so many things, and not only so many things going on, but also just the energy in the building changes, which is a fun thing and it's a good thing, and our kids really do a nice job handling that. But it also makes it tough to navigate as a teacher, and I think they did a really nice job. So, ending the week with a pep rally, and then not dodgeball, bomber ball. Thank you. Sorry,
That
bomber ball here,
funny.
the tradition. And Mr. Crawford puts in a ton of time making sure all those games are in place for the kids. So a huge thank you to him. Things coming up, we have tomorrow we have boys basketball game at home. Thursday the 17th we have a wrestling meet at home against Luck, Frederick, Siren, and Grantsburg co-op. 18th is the end of the semester. Saturday the 19th we hold a doubleheader, girls and boys basketball games against McDonald. The 21st is in service, so teacher day but no students. And then the week of the 21st, the 22nd through the 25th, myself, Mr. Munson, and Mr. Grosskreutz are going to the WASB convention, the school board convention. And on the 25th, let me back up. During that week while we're gone, the boys basketball team hosts Turtle Lake on Thursday, and then 25th we host Clayton. That's wrong, right? We changed that. I believe it's a doubleheader. I'm sorry. I think we have a doubleheader on the 25th. But we're also doing something new. We have I shouldn't say something new, but a benefit is going to be held for one of our elementary special ed teachers, Candace McHugh. Her husband has cancer, and all of those proceeds. She has connections to Clayton as well, so it's going to be a co-op benefit with us and Clayton, with all those benefits going to the family for some of those expenses that they're seeing. So if you can make it to the game on Friday, that'll be a neat way to.
Is that being put on by the girls basketball group, or is there?
No,
is it different?
I don't know. It's not technically being put on by the girls basketball. It's kind of comboed between our special ed director is helping out along with the Clayton staff. So it's kind of a staff initiated benefit. Is that what you're?
It's pretty much staff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the basketball players
Or doing pledges,
doing
because
pledges.
Yep.
I got the sheet that we have to
Yeah.
do pledges.
They're doing pledges, and then they're also doing a penny war here at all grade level, and all proceeds are going to that same benefit.
That's a penny thing.
Yep. On that Friday, we also have some, I think majority of our elementary kiddos will be out of the building. We have the 5th and 6th graders going to Trollhagen, and 3rd and 4th graders going to Skate City. Then the following week, we host boys basketball Clayton on the 29th. So that's all I have.
Is that the doubleheader? Will that replace that game? It doesn't matter, but
Yeah, you might be right on that one, actually, yeah. So scratch the 29th might not be
that'll be
against
Friday.
Clayton. I believe it's a doubleheader on the 25th, that Friday.
Looking right now. Girls basketball, 25th. I think it's just girls.
Is it just girls? Okay.
Wednesday wrestling and Thursday the 24th is boys varsity at school.
Okay.
Boys Thursday night, girls Friday night.
All right, so it is. So just the girls during the benefit.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ernst. And thank you guys for coming in. Now we'll move into our contemplated closed session. In accordance to WSS 19.85, paragraph 1C, considering employment compensation or performance data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Tonight we'll be discussing district administrator evaluation and approval of the 1819 administrative contract. So I'll pull the board. Nettie?
Yes.
Skip?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Mrs. Kobernick?
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Pull up my evaluation on my computer rather than do
All right, we're back to open session. I'll entertain a motion to approve the district administrator evaluation.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the district administrator evaluation 2018-19. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All right, motion passes, and then we'll move on to the next item of business, the approval of the 2018-19 administrative contracts.
I'll move to approve the 2018-2019 administrative contracts.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the 2018-19 administrative contracts. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The final item of business is, oh wait, future agenda items. Anybody have anything that they want to put on next meeting's agenda?
Changing the time.
All right, changing the time to 5:30. Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.